The first thing after rebirth was to intentionally break the railing on the balcony, then wait for the despicable husband to fall into the trap. Because in the previous life, the husband loved to smoke while leaning on the railing. After each cigarette, it would be the girl's nightmare. As expected, a few minutes later, the husband came into the room with a cigarette in his mouth. The girl pretended she couldn't stand the smell of smoke. Seeing this, the husband quickly walked to the balcony with a sly smile. But just as he was fantasizing about how to torment the girl, the railing under his feet suddenly broke. Looking at the husband who was smashed into a bloody mess, everyone thought it was an accident. Little did they know, the girl had been waiting for this revenge for 2 lifetimes. In the previous life, the girl went to the wedding of the factory director's daughter with her stepmother. Unexpectedly, she was called to the second floor by the factory director's wife under the pretense of discussing work. As soon as the girl entered the room, the factory director's brother rushed in. Before she could resist, she was violated by him. When the stepmother arrived, she dragged the girl to take a shower to destroy the evidence. The brother then falsely accused the girl of seducing him. Neither the father nor the stepmother supported the girl. Instead, they scolded her for being shameless. A month later, the girl got pregnant. Under pressure from her father and stepmother, she was forced to marry the husband. After marriage, the girl kept getting pregnant and giving birth. For daughters were sent away, sold, or beaten into deafness. Finally, the girl couldn't take it anymore and died with her husband. When she opened her eyes again, she found herself back 10 years earlier on the day of the wedding. She saw the flirtatious stepmother and the factory director's wife and realized that this was their deal. The stepmother said she would bring the girl to give a gift, and the girl was the gift. Just like in the previous life, the factory director's wife pretended to want to talk about work and told the girl to wait upstairs. As the girl was going up the stairs, someone was watching her lustfully from afar. To get rid of the brother-in-law's harassment, the girl came up with a brilliant idea. That led to the scene we saw earlier. When the brother-in-law was severely injured, the girl calmly turned on the radio, listened to music, and enjoyed the screams coming from downstairs. A few minutes later, the factory director stormed into the room. Under the girl's excellent performance, the factory director believed it was an accident and had to accept his loss. With the wedding ruined, the stepmother had to lead the girl home in disgrace. He had planned to have the brother-in-law get the girl pregnant and then she would be married off, allowing his son to seize the job position left by the girl's mother. But this accident ruined his plan. Now his son needed the job for a date, so the stepmother had no choice but to confess to the girl and asked her to give the job to her brother. The girl immediately agreed. But before the stepmother could be too happy, the girl suddenly brought up the fact that shortly after her mother passed away, the stepmother moved in with her gangster son. Her father, to please the stepmother, even kicked the girl and her sister out of the room and gave it to the stepson. Greedy, the stepson conspired with the stepmother to send the girl to the brother-in-law's bed. This couple was the root of all the girl's tragedies in the previous life. Since heaven gave her another chance, the girl vowed to destroy the stepmother's family. Watching the girl's drastic change, the stepmother was worried she might sell the job. She quickly pretended to be pitiful, saying she only had 20,000 yuan. If the girl wasn't satisfied, she would have to give the old house in the countryside as well. Unbeknownst to her, this was exactly what the girl had been waiting for, because 4 years later, that old house would be demolished. In the previous life, the stepmother had become rich because of that house. This time, the girl wouldn't let her profit again. After thinking it over, the girl reluctantly agreed to the stepmother's proposal. The next day, she went to handle the transfer procedures. The stepmother exchanged 20,000 yuan and a house for the girl's job. Although this deal took most of her savings, it was worth it as long as her son could get a job. Meanwhile, the stepbrother was getting ready at home, preparing to ask his girlfriend to marry him once he got